What's up guys, FlamingVictini here, and I'm back for another SPL game. This time we've got Axel10 versus Nintendi. I missed the first few turns, so we're just going to replay it really quickly. We see Nintendi lead off with Manaphy versus Lando, go for a safe skull on the Laddie switch in, which burns. Here we see Axel pull a switch to his Tangrowth, covering the Jirachi switch in, and also Manaphy staying in. Manaphy just Ice Beams and freezes the Tangrowth, that's huge. Oh, he tail glows on a Thaw that is massive, so that ends up being like unhacks or something, really weird. We've seen Nintendi just pull a switch to Jirachi on this Tangrowth, get some lefties recovery. He just Toxics on the knockoff. Okay, so maybe this is a sub-toxic Jirachi. Never mind, it's U-turn Jirachi. Toxic U-turn with lefties, maybe rocks too. But there we see the Lando come in and U-turn on this Lando switch in, which shows the helmet. Medicham comes in and it goes straight for the Ice Punch on the Magnezone switch in, and Nintendi pulls a hard switch out of his Medicham into his Excadrill as Axel pulls a switch into his Lando. So one thing, okay, never mind. Nintendi pulls a switch into Lando on Axel's Lando as Axel goes for the U-turn on that and gets in his Weavile. And are we up to date yet? Nope, not yet. We see the Manaphy come in on the Ice Crash, gonna die to 2 if it hits. And it does indeed hit. Okay, now we're up to date. So Axel10, I've actually seen him use this team before because he used this in World Cup versus Stethakis. It's not a Choice Scarf Magnezone, it's Choice Specs. One way you can tell if you haven't seen the team before is that he's really weak to stuff like Calm Mind Clefable or Calm Mind Mega Slowbro if he's just Scarf Magnezone. He'll just be extremely weak to them, like he'll literally straight up lose. So I think he'll straight up lose to Slowbro, maybe, because he can't crit it, can't trick it, etc. I don't even think he has a trick user, it's Life or Blatty, but he'd have to have like Toxic on something like a Lando, which would be really weird, but maybe he does, or Diancie, but yeah. My point is that it's a Specs Magnezone, not a Scarf Magnezone, so Nintendi didn't really have a really like strong need to switch out, but I guess he may not know for certain. And also maybe he just doesn't want to risk the HAK miss, although like Medicham probably should have been able to get a kill at that point. But yeah, he does switch out so that Weavile is able to get some pressure. Jirachi comes in on the Weavile. It's going to U-turn as Magnezone just comes in instead of the Lando, so I guess he just I guess he wants to continue bluffing, like keep the Medicham out, maybe, or, because he doesn't want it to U-turn on the Medicham and get off another Ice Punch. I'm guessing that's why he did that. So we do see Nintendi go to Lando and to set up his rocks, so we're probably going to see Axel get up his own rocks. I mean, Axel might U-turn if he wants to keep up momentum and he plans to defog later, but, and yeah, I mean, rocks don't help him much anyway, so I could very well see him, Axel just U-turning. Didn't want to pull a hard switch to Weavile or anything just in case Nintendi wants to just U-turn again or just attack straight up. But I think we'll see a U-turn from Axel. He might just throw up rocks though. It kind of depends on how he's trained his Lando. Like if he's expecting his Lando to be faster, then he'll probably just throw up rocks. If he's expecting it to be slower, or yeah, I mean, then he'll just definitely U-turn, I think. We'll see. Axel's thinking about this turn. I think Nintendi did both theirs show U-turn? I don't remember, but we do see Nintendi just pulls a hard switch into Medicham as, yep, there's the U-turn from the Lando, so, yep, so Axel, he can go to Diancie, Latios, Weavile. I mean, he has to be careful of Bullet Punch Medicham. Extremely rare, you don't really see it very commonly. Most of them are running just HAK, Zen, Headbutt, Ice Punch or Thunder Punch, Fake Out. Sometimes you just see them in Double Punch, not even Zen, but you rarely see Bullet Punch, because Bullet Punch is usually like Fake Out, Bullet Punch, HAK, and then like one coverage move, which is usually like Ice Punch or something like that, so it's not as potent of a wall breaker per se, but it's extremely dangerous versus offense, and versus Axel's team, it's really good because it can hit that Weavile and that Diancie, which is just perfect for Nintendi. So Diancie does come out on this Medicham right here. He's gonna have to protect because of he doesn't get that speed boost immediately. He also doesn't want to take a Fake Out most likely, regardless, even if he did get the immediate speed boost, although he doesn't. In that case, if he'd already Mega'd, he doesn't lose much from Moonblasting. But yeah, he definitely has to just go for a safe protect right there. Nintendi can just switch into his AV Tang, I think. I think it's an AV Tang. I mean, you're not going to go to Tang if you're not AV. His steals are a bit worn out, although he probably could have afforded to pull hard into Excadrill, I think Jirachi is a bit too low at this point, but yeah, Tang's fine play. Tang should be able to handle this Diancie fairly well, keep on switching in on it consistently with Regenerator and that 80 bulk. But, so in that case, I think really Axel's biggest threat is that Weavile. Honestly, that Weavile is looking really dangerous. Also, that Latios looking a bit dangerous because Nintendi's steals are worn out. But, we do see he just goes for a Giga Drain as the Tangrowth comes in, and Nintendi doesn't actually really have a switch in for this. I mean, I guess he could go Lando and U-turn, but I don't know, he doesn't really have a switch into this. But that being said, I definitely wouldn't want to let this Tangrowth take a knockoff. I feel like you don't want it to take a knockoff because that Diancie is such a big threat. Like, Diancie will get really, really problematic if this Tangrowth gets knocked off, I think. I mean, if he is Bullet Punch Medicham, then the Diancie doesn't get that much free room to fire off attacks, but I mean, keeping Assault Vest on Tangrowth is still a good safeguard. Here we see he just does actually decide he's willing to lose his Assault Vest to HP Ice or Fire that Tangrowth, so all he does is get some damage on it. I mean, Axel probably doesn't want to switch into this too because, like, I mean, he could switch into it, but he chooses to just sack his Tangrowth. I guess that's fine. He doesn't really need his Tangrowth. It's not doing much. I mean, it kind of helps that he's scouting out Excadrill's moves. It's a nice sack that can also potentially tank hit. So from that Excadrill, if it's healthy enough. But yeah, he doesn't really need that Tangrowth. Now that Diancie, though, is definitely going to become a much bigger threat. Lando might still be out of range, but Jirachi might be in range of an HP Fire at this point. So, and if that Medicham doesn't have Bullet Punch, then that Diancie is definitely going to get some free turns to attack and deal some massive damage, or just pretty much just grab a kill. I mean, Excadrill can probably come in once, but he doesn't want to take that damage because he wants to be able to live on Ice Shard and Rocky Helmet, so if he takes a predicted HP Fire, that's going to suck. But we do see you guys go to Weavile right here, because he pretty much knows he can get a kill if he hits. So he's probably going to click Icicle Crash. Nintendi going to sack Jirachi, I think. Maybe. I think he'd sack Jirachi. Jirachi doesn't seem to be doing much more in this game. He might. I think he'll sack Jirachi, but he does actually choose to sack Lando. Okay, so I guess he wants to keep Jirachi around for something. I mean, Lando wasn't really doing that much either. It does, he does get the Intimidate, so he could go to Medicham right now if he wants to, I guess. I think he should be able to live an Icicle Crash now. This Weavile being Choice Band actually really helps out Axel because he's not taking that Life Orb damage and he only really needs to click one move anyway. Although I definitely think in general that being able to switch up your moves is pretty nice, but in this case he really just doesn't need to do much other than click Crash and maybe on an odd occasion click Ice Shard versus Drill. But yeah, because of that Intimidate, he is able to go to his Medicham, so I think he can just click HAK and nab a kill. Although the Lando may choose to come in just so we can get some chip damage with that Rocky Helmet and put this in range of Ice Shard if Bullet Punch becomes an issue. That being said, if this thing is Bullet Punch Medicham, it's going to become a big threat, so Axel needs to play carefully with this Latios, I think. He does just choose to sack Magnezone, though. Nintendi fakes out. I'm not really sure what the purpose of the fake out there was. I'm not really sure what the purpose of faking out there was. Because Axel was either going to switch, or he was going to stay in, you were going to fake him out, and then you're going to take the damage next turn anyway. Oh, it's actually Chompel Zone. I'm fairly certain he has to. I feel like he must have at least Thunder Wave then. Definitely must have Thunder Wave, and he just relies on Thunder Wave to help him break through, I guess. I mean, Calm and Slowbro is still going to completely wreck him then. But Clefable he can paralyze and then try to get through with CB, Weavile, and Diancie. Tangrowth can also knock off Clefable, so knocking off Clefable makes a big difference for those mons like Diancie, Weavile, Latios that normally can't 2 a KO when the leftovers are there. We do see Latios coming on this Medicham. Nintendi probably going to go into Jirachi, maybe Hard Drill, but probably not. Probably Jirachi at this point. He doesn't really have a better choice. How much health is that Jirachi at? It's at 63. Oh yeah, that makes much more sense. And now I understand really that sacking Lando is better. I thought it was lower. I thought it was actually at like around 30 or something like that. So that's why I thought he might sack Jirachi earlier. But yeah, definitely keeping this Jirachi around is really helpful now because he can switch into this Latios at least once, so that's good. Because now I can get the U-turn, get the momentum back again, nab another kill. And this Latios took life or burn, and now it's just gone to U-turn. So Bullet Punch Mega Medicham definitely looking like he can win at this point. I still don't think it's Bullet Punch Mega Medicham. I mean, he has 2 steel types, and I mean, his team is a kind of slow, I guess. It is slow bro weak, so I would understand if he just wants to use Double Punch Medicham. But I guess it could be Bullet Punch. Double Punch as in Thunder Punch, Ice Punch, of course. But either way, we probably will see him to go to Medicham regardless, because he can fake out. He can apply that fake out pressure, and his Excadrill is definitely looking dangerous, because right now that Lando is the only thing holding Axel together versus that Excadrill, which can otherwise just click Iron Head and win. So we do indeed see the Diancie come out. If Axel's not going to protect, because protecting on a switch out just loses too much, whereas protecting on a fake out doesn't gain enough. It doesn't gain enough to be worth it. So probably going to see Axel stay in and just attack. Nintendi, if I were him, I'd just fake out, get that chip, why not? You don't really lose much, and yeah, I mean, yeah, he does just fake out, get that chip. Here we see, Bullet Punch or not. I'm still thinking no Bullet Punch, but I mean, how would he win without Bullet Punch? He'd have to like sack Irachi, go Exca, Iron Head, keep chipping down that lane. We have to get in Exca another time, but then in that case, he just trade kills. So oh, there's the Bullet Punch! There it is! Holy moly! Oh god. There is the Bullet Punch. So now that makes the fake out play on the Weavile make a bit more sense, because he's thinking, okay, if the Weavile does stay in, I can Bullet Punch. If he goes to Latios, I'm probably going to deal enough damage with Burn and Life Orb and Rocks that Bullet Punch can knock out. I'm not really sure on that. If he switches to Lando or Magnezone, I was going to HAK or Ice Punch anyway. If he goes to Diancie, I was going to Bullet Punch anyway, I guess. And that way he means that if Weavile stays in, he knows that he can Bullet Punch and not take the crash damage, I guess. I'm guessing that's his thought process right there, but I'm not really sure. Either way, this Medicham definitely can just click Ice Punch. Probably knocks out the Lando. Probably does. I'm fairly certain it does. Weavile might be able to live Bullet Punch now because of the -1 attack, but it doesn't matter because he has that Scarf Drill in the back, so it definitely does not matter. The Ice Punch just completely obliterates Lando, and this game is over. Holy crap. Yeah, Bullet Punch Mega Medicham putting in a ton of work in this endgame scenario. I was thinking if it was not Bullet Punch, he'd have to play Drill to really wear down that Lando or just nab the kill, in which case Lando comes in afterwards and then Axel can trade the kill. But Nintendi has 4 mons, Axel has 3, so he might be able to get it. That being said, the Lando could switch in hard on the Drill at least once without being worried, bar flinches. So I think it would have been a tricky endgame without the Bullet Punch Mega Medicham, but with Bullet Punch, that was definitely way over. So yeah, Nintendi is able to win this game, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.